What's up, everybody? It's Brandon from Box Office Banner and Cult Flick Symposium, and I'm here to talk about the movie Immaculate. And I'm here to talk about it immediately after seeing it, yes, which is, kind of usually my formula, but has not been my formula on reviews this year. Whether it's been need to let the movie marinate, that's definitely happened. I feel like I had to do that with Late Night with the Devil. Those movies that they don't have to necessarily be like artsy, fartsy type of shit. It just, there's a difference in like a movie that doesn't feel like it needs to marinate, like a Lisa Frankenstein or like a Night Swim from this year. You kind of have your feelings worked out. But it doesn't even have to be like a deep thinker. It just feels more of like a sophisticated ish movie, and you kind of want to peel back if there was certain undertones or other layers of the film that you might not have seen immediately, or at least made you feel, I guess, like in a more, just like, not to just be cut and dry, like a more mature viewing, that you want to peel back every layer and make sure you know how you feel about it, because it made you think about the movie a little more than, like a slasher film where it's just like cut them up, let's go, oh my god, awesome kill, and that's about all you take away from it, and you talk about the murder amongst the movie. There's a little bit of something more there, even if there isn't, metaphors and things of that nature. With Immaculate, I'm jumping right into it, but this one probably might fall a little more into that. You can kind of get that vibe from the trailer, but I do want to just kind of jump into this one because I've not done this enough recently. I will come out and say from the jump, this movie is not immaculate. But does that mean it's not great? No, not at all, because this movie was great. I think it was fucking dope. It didn't quite hit the levels of, again, immaculate. It wasn't chef's kiss. It wasn't holy shit. And I'm still trying to dissect exactly why that is. And I think I pretty much know the reason. But let's kick it off with just giving Sydney Sweeney her flowers. And not in, the straight male way, I guess, of doing it. It seems like most dudes, at least, that are just like, oh my God, she's got big tits, she's beautiful. Let's just state the obvious here. This is true. And now, after seeing this movie, I can also be an even bigger fan of, her work and not just degrading her like most of these motherfuckers. Obviously, I'm going to keep it real. I'm not that guy. I like big boobs. It's a thing. I can admit that. But I talk to some guys and that's like the end all be all, like, dude, she's got big boobs, bro. And you'd be like, yeah, but what about her as an actress? Dude, who cares, bro? She's got big boobs, bro. Like, everybody knows those type of guys where it's just like, have you not seen breasts before, buddy? Like, there's an appeal. I'm enamored, don't get me wrong. But this was my chance to, truly separate myself from those primitive beings. And separate, I can say. She was amazing in this movie. She definitely elevates the source material. Sydney Sweeney, I'm definitely a fan of your work going forward. Not that I wasn't before, but, you weren't like on my radar, of that upper echelon standard where, oh, she's in this movie. Oh, he's in this movie, whatever you want to call it. This actor is in this movie. Now I've got to see it. Sydney Sweeney with this type of a role, maybe one or two other one of these roles, immediately jumps to the top, of that list, that top 5 actresses to look for, that type of thing. So I'm really interested in seeing what she does going forward after this. Other than that, the movie in general, the plot isn't overly original, but the way it's shot and the care that is taken while watching this movie, I think it's all done very well. The setup and everything, you're very locked in. There's a very good opening scene that locks you in. But I think this is where it does switch up on you a little bit. I think it does get a little messy in the middle, whereas it really carries you over into the movie and you're on, the flow of the movie is really moving at a good pace while it's not rushing anything, but it's also not quite boring. You're really invested in everything that's going on and the way it's slowly peeling everything back. But it seems like once we do get to the meat of what this movie is, everything just takes off. And not necessarily for the better. initially I thought it was like, oh yeah, it kept the pacing and the movement and everything going, but it made everything feel, I don't know if the word is cluttered, but not quite as important. Like I feel like we didn't really get to marinate and everything quite to its full extent, or the full extent that we should have. It wasn't bad. It was fine. It kept the movie, as I said, great. But I think it could have been, yes, I'll say it again, immaculate if we really would have settled in with things. Like once the cat and mouse type of game started where we were like, oh shit, this is what's going down. It would have been nice to, take a second and really grasp the situation and how fucked up it was. It seemed like right as that part of the movie took off, I think they kind of were going forward. It's like, all right, this is where we're not going to even let you have a second to breathe. Like strap in. It seemed like we were always just constantly moving to the next fucking plot point of just like, oh shit, fuck, that just happened. Oh shit, fuck, that just happened. Which can be very impactful and effective, but there's certain relationships and things within the movie. Obviously, this isn't a spoiler review, that I would have liked to have been like, when adversity and things like this hit, these grouping of people or this relationship or this right here with the cat and mouse thing, you kind of dangle it in front of us a little better. These things can become stronger within the film, building towards that climax. Whereas once the shit hits the fan in this movie, you're kind of just like, oh shit, and then you're out the fucking door. You know what I mean? Like it's not quite like it's over like that, but it does almost feel that way because it doesn't ever really like, okay, here's the danger, let's hit the brakes, let's fucking recognize this danger and let's live in it for a little bit before it elevates again. It just kind of keeps going, which is fine, it works, but it doesn't quite hit the feats that I think it could have for that reason. The ending, I do have kind of a problem with the ending, which almost will sound, I don't know, like, hypocritical in a way. I can't quite say what it is going to be because I don't want to give anything away. I'm trying to think of a way to talk around it. More or less, they choose to go around at the very end of the movie, which is something I normally love. It has more to do with like theater of the mind. And this is like, you could say it's minimal because it's such a small moment, but at the same time it's big. But they leave it up to theater of the mind, kind of. I'll say that. It has to do with theater of the mind. And this is one of the few times where I'm like, damn it, I've came all this way. I want to know about this. I want to see this certain thing. I want to fucking fully engulf myself in this moment. And up here, it's not good enough. It works, but damn it, at least for me, creative decision. I'm normally not this guy, as I said. I usually am the guy that's like, yeah, leave it up to my imagination. Like, what's everybody else bitching about? You know what I mean? A la my second favorite movie ever, Seven. Like, we didn't have to see, oh yeah, spoiler alert, how many years ago was this? Gwyneth Paltrow's head in the box. It was enough to just be like, oh my God. But something about the ending of this, I wanted to see a certain thing. I had to know, man. They were just, it was almost like a tease. Like, I'm just like, I want to know. And it just kind of lets it be up to your mind. Again, doesn't ruin the ending. The ending in general was kind of fun. But I did personally want to see this certain thing that happens in this movie. That's all I'll say. Other than that, all the acting in general, fine. The characters, again, I think it has to go with it was a little rushed, I think, in the midway, the back end of the middle act to the ending. But for what they are, they work. It's not bad. But again, I think it may have missed an opportunity here. If we just could have settled in a little bit better and the ending would have done a certain thing. But I think that's more of, personal preference. And a personal preference, as I said, I normally don't fall on. So I'd be curious to see what other people think about this ending, if it's divisive or if they think it was maybe a little rushed too. Maybe instead of hour and 29 minutes, add in an hour and 39 minutes. I do want to talk about this more, but I normally do not do spoilers, so I'm trying to kind of stay away from that. I will say at the end, like the venue that kind of pans out at a certain point of the ending was pretty cool, well developed. It was a good set design. I will have to say that. I'm not going to talk about exactly where it is. I try to talk around these things so much, people. It's tough because, you kind of want to, give something. You have to have a review, right? But I try my best to leave it as empty as possible because I'm the type of person, a lot of times, I don't even think you need a trailer. Just sell a little bit of something. I want you to be blind going into this. If you want to talk spoilers, we can do that in the comments section. Obviously, you leave spoilers down below. Like, literally put spoilers before you just spoil the fucking movie. Or, however, people I know in real life, you want to message me, whatever. I'm more than willing to talk spoilers with you because there's definitely some things that need to be talked about that are a little extra on this. Or, if you want me to do a spoiler review, let me know. But pretty much, I got to say, this movie is fucking great, though. It just, those couple little tweaks, I think it could have been immaculate. Anyways, guys, definitely check this movie out if it's your thing. I will give it a 8.3 out of 10. I'm going to settle there for right now. This is another one of those, I need to think about it a little more. Maybe I should have let this one marinate. I don't know, guys. Either way, I love you guys. Hope you enjoyed it if you've seen it. If you have seen it, let me know what you thought. And if you haven't, go check it out, though. Damn fucking great. And Sydney Sweeney, man. She's got some skills. She definitely does. Peace.